All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. I am here with my guy, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the multi-timed flag football champion, my guy, Daniel. What's up?
What's up, man? Oh man.
Not too
And no,
much.
we took a week off
Yes, sir.
for just so this podcast can be what it's about to be.
Yeah.
Like so
There
so I
wasn't
mean
nothing going on last
it
week.
wasn't nothing going on.
Nothing.
Like what we gonna talk about Sabonis's record for double doubles? Like I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about that. But I do have a couple things to rant on before we get into the free agency.
Take off.
First, shout out to my Longhorns, my Texas girls winning the Big 12. You got to shout them out real quick.
Nice,
And
nice.
then I don't know. I think I'm really just becoming a Jets hater right now. But I really don't like Aaron Rodgers. Like,
I was gonna
I
bring
just,
that up. I was gonna
I
bring it.
just, I don't like. What
You
is
don't
what
want
is
Aaron
going
Rodgers to
on?
be the vice president? You
I
not
don't
cool with
even
that?
want him to be in office. Anything like any like
In the
he
Senate, nothing.
nothing. I don't even want him to be a mayor, a governor, on the council. Like just
Oh,
retire and go play golf.
you
Like
can't be a
because no,
principal, nigga. Go do something. Anything else?
because if you watch First Thing First, Nick Wright really just outed him on like, dude, 2 months ago was like all that outside BS. If it ain't about winning, then we don't need distractions. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, Aaron Rodgers, candidate for JFK's vice presidency. I'm just like, dude, like
And he was
what?
like, "Oh, that'll be cool." Oh, come on, man.
Like so, yeah, that's my rant. But Jets, come on now. You got Zach Wilson, who I don't like. Now Aaron Rodgers, who I don't like. You're signing all these old people. Like,
Oh
get it
man.
together.
Oh, speaking of Zach Wilson, I have a small rant. I never do this, but let's start here because I want to just get this out the way. Justin Fields sucked.
Oh my God, no, he did. Like,
He
bro, we're not
sucked.
finna argue. No,
I'm
we're
tired
not
of
finna argue.
listening and watching all these shows where they keep asking, why is nobody want Justin Fields? Nobody's willing to trade a second round pick for just no.
No,
He sucked.
I'm not giving a second for him. He
That's what
don't
they
suck.
asking.
Well, then they fools for that because we're
Mac
not giving you a
Jones,
second round. You got
Okay,
six.
hold on. Let me ask you this. Do you think Justin Fields is better than Mac Jones?
Yes,
By how
I do.
much?
Personally, I could do more with Justin Fields if on my offense than Mac Jones.
Well, yeah, because he can
Like,
run. Yeah.
because he's dynamic.
He's actually an
But are we
athletic person.
also my thing is how many times are we gonna let certain quarterbacks slide because he didn't have help here. He always went through different coordinators and coaches, aka
True.
Baker, aka Mac
True.
Jones. But Justin Fields, same thing. But now all of a sudden he's just like a bust. And then the coaches that he had, a lot of them aren't head coaches anymore. If anything, they
True.
move back down to coordinators or any other
Position
position on
coach.
the
Yeah.
team, position coaches. So it's just like, what are we doing here? Give him he's still on his rookie contract. I would give him a chance at least.
Now, I hear that, and I've heard a lot of people say that. Also, I watched the games and seen that man be trash. I
I
watched
mean,
him stall out. What was that against the Colts? I watched that whole
yeah.
game. That shit was terrible. And
But
he was
some of
going.
that is how much like how
We
much is the coach? I get it. He's a first round draft pick, so he's supposed to be exceptional and things like that. But how much does how much blame does all his coaches and offensive coordinators get for having just horrible play calling, horrible this, horrible that? He never really had pieces around him.
I'm
The
of the
first this past year was the first time he had pieces.
I'm of the belief that it's still no matter how you want to slice up the pie for blame or whatever, it's still kind of like 60% on you because you out there on the field. Like the play calling can be what it is, but like I don't know. I like we've seen not great like what Tom Brady's entire career, like who who was the offensive genius that helped Tom Brady progress in his career? Him and
Uh,
nobody. Like, are we talking
Bill
about
O'Brien, right?
not for a
Later in,
majority
not
of
in the
it?
beginning. Bill O'Brien was at the like middle back end of it
Josh
because I
McDaniels, how good of an offensive coordinator is Josh McDaniels when he immediately just fails at every other job he gets? Every other job
yeah,
he
but the
gets, the
other
offense
jobs
is
he got was
trash.
head coaches, right? Yeah, because
Yes.
they get the thing about being the top offensive coordinator in the league
Mm.
is you probably gonna inherit a job with the shittiest team in the league.
True. And
So
this is another one that I wanted to point out, but we can leave Justin Fields alone because I think Justin Fields is still a top 64 quarterback. He's not about to be out the league. Like he's definitely in the top
no,
at minimum. Like as bad as I think he is, as far as I'm willing to put him down, is still somewhere around 35, maybe. Even if that's the worst, if I'm like, what's the worst I would say? You still
I don't know.
should be
I
a
just feel like,
starter, barring
I,
injury to somebody. You should still be a starter somewhere. But where though?
yeah,
Because everything's
uh,
gone now. Because we can talk about the free agency. Let's start. The Falcons gone, Steelers gone. Like Raiders, I don't know if
that
like
they was talking about trading for him, but then you're gonna have three quarterbacks in that room
the
because they just
Broncos.
signed Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, it's like where there's not really anywhere for him to go now unless he goes somewhere with an older, established quarterback that he could sit behind. But where is that?
I mean, they could release Zach Wilson. He can go to the Jets.
Yeah, but what's that? Nah, that's pointless. So I'm gonna take one not good quarterback and trade him for another not good quarterback. That no.
Well, the thing about it
Just
is, at
keep
least
Zach
Justin
Wilson then.
Fields, Zach Wilson just looks like he just doesn't try, and if he does try, it's just like his trying is just not. At least just Justin Fields can run when necessary.
True, true.
Like he almost broke the rushing record 2 years ago,
Yeah,
but once again, his coaches did what? Sat him down. Like you had a chance for the quarterback to break the rate. He was 40 something yards away.
yeah. They
Y'all
should
sat
just
him down.
y'all should have just traded him after that year if he was just gonna do this shit. But
Yeah. So,
there's another one I wanted to point out. I guess we can start here. The Philadelphia Eagles signed Saquon Barkley for what was it, 3 years,
three
almost
years,
40 million.
40 million. Yeah, 3 years, 40. Or
So
was it
all that
four?
shit about
No, it's three. It's three.
all yes,
The running
three.
back market.
All that shit about the running back market. And Saquon goes out and gets basically the exact deal he was looking for. Like over
12 million.
11. Yeah, like he got franchised for what, 11 something. Ended up now he's making more than that. And well, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
the market was bad. The rest of the market kind of did terrible. Like everybody else got 8 million. Like it's just
yeah,
that's what a running
eight.
back is worth. It's just no matter who you are now.
Yeah, it's 8 million.
8 million. Like that is
Yep.
so crazy. But that wasn't the point. I wanted to bring up the fact that do you know who the offensive coordinator is
What are we talking about?
for the Eagles?
Uh, it's not Arthur Smith, is it?
Nope. That's
No,
the
yeah, that's
Steelers.
yeah, still is. Okay, that's okay. Who is it?
Kellen Moore.
Oh yeah, that's right. Right.
Kellen fucking Moore. I just wanted to point out that because I was looking at it, I was like, Kellen Moore is the Eagles offensive coordinator. That sounds so stupid. And they're gonna tout this thing that they're gonna be this big explosive offense. But when Kellen Moore moved up from the quarterback coach to the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, they went
Hmm.
from I think 11-5 to 8-8. When he became the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, they went from 11-6 to where they win 5 games this year.
Yeah.
Like
He's
it's almost like nobody's paying attention
they
to this. Like what I don't understand. And then now that's what we're gonna hear is that they have Saquon. This offense is gonna be so explosive. Kellen Moore, look what he does for offenses. But it's like the Cowboys in that year. The crazy part is they went from 11-5 or whatever, or 10-6, whatever it was, to 8-8. But they went from 22nd, they went from like in the mid 20s in every passing and offensive category to top five. But is it worth it if you're gonna lose more games?
yeah, but they actually had a you said every passing category.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So in my opinion, I think Dak is a better passer than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
So
I'll give you that. I can go with that.
so I don't know. I mean it's just like the certain quarterbacks get a second chance here, second chance there, third chance there, and certain offensive coordinators who they want to be great so bad.
Yeah, it's just weird, bro.
It's
It's
just
been
like
7 years now, and he hasn't
he,
really
he hasn't even
done
touched
nothing crazy.
anything in the playoffs. Like
Nothing. That done nothing good in the playoff. Done nothing except raise the statistics. But if raising the actual numbers of your passing game specifically doesn't lead to wins, then what is the point? I don't. It like does is somehow he's still considered some offensive genius, but he can't get a head coaching job. Like a lot of
It,
that shit just doesn't make sense to me.
it's crazy how every year there's a new offensive genius.
Yeah.
Oh man, this young cat is an offensive genius. Look at this play call. It's just like,
Hmm.
meanwhile, you got Andy Reid. Like, I've been doing this for 40 years. Like,
Forever, my whole life.
like it's just like
For all of
offensive
y'all
genius.
lives.
I started this shit. Like,
That shit is
and
so crazy.
but no, I don't. Eagles, they
I guess here we start here. What do you think that the Saquon signing actually even moves the needle at all
no,
for
not
them?
really.
I'm with
I,
you.
I
Like,
think it's because I feel like DeAndre Swift fit that offense more than Saquon does.
I
Because
mean,
DeAndre Swift is a runner and he can catch out the backfield.
yes. I mean, Saquon can
And
catch out the backfield too.
yeah,
They did
but
that a lot,
he's not.
specifically last year.
Well, they did that a lot because it was the Giants.
Yeah, they didn't have
Like
no receivers, no quarterback, no offensive
yeah. So
line.
so
It was
that's
just
why they
like
did that a lot.
throw it to
So I don't
Saquon in the
think.
flat.
Yeah, because if you remember Saquon in college, he wasn't really a
No, 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 no.
receptions out the backfield type of guy.
Mm-mm.
So
But it's just so weird to me that people are hyping this up. Like it was like what you just said. Like Swift was really. I feel like Swift makes more sense, or a running back of that nature, where like he's gonna get 3 yards. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
Saquon is. I think people, especially Eagles fans, are gonna have a hard time with the realization of like. I mean, I don't know how because he played for the fucking Giants. You guys should know that Saquon
yeah.
will go 0 yards, 1 yard, 1 yard, two
Then
yards,
break a
zero
25
yards.
yarder.
Yeah, and then go for 25, and then they still don't. You go three and out after that, kick a field goal. Like that's the type of shit that happens all the time with the Giants. Just is that going to be
And then
different with
and
the
then health
Eagles?
as well. Just like
Yeah,
3 year, 40 million for a running back who when the last time he played a full season?
never has he ever played a full season.
If we got to think, then probably
Then it's
not.
close enough.
Like
Yeah, like that's the sad part. But
that's the reason why the Giants didn't want to sign him last year.
let
Is
me
because of
see.
his health concerns.
He played a full season 2022 in his rookie year, and that's it. Last year he missed 2 games. 2021 he missed 3 games. He played 2 games in the COVID year, and he missed 3 games before that. So yeah, he's basically you can bank on him missing 2 games probably,
Yeah, and I don't
most
even think that
likely.
was the Saquon one didn't move a needle for me. The one that really moved the needle for me was Mixon to Texans.
Okay, I was gonna say please don't say Derrick Henry, bro. Because
Hell no! If I was a receiver if I was a receiver for the Ravens, I would request a trade as soon as they did that because you
boy,
got bro they
we
got
going back to this again. Like that's
but you
probably
got to
what they
think
thinking.
they got Derrick Henry
Mm-hmm.
who's going to command 15 to
I
20
was just
carries.
talking about this today. Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins is coming
Yep.
off injury. They released Gus Edward, but they still got Mitchell. Are they
Yep.
releasing him too?
Yep. And
And then they got Lamar. He's a runner.
and
He runs.
what's uh Hill.
Justice Hill.
Yep. Is he still on the team?
I, I
They
they got
got
like
four running
7
backs.
running backs.
Yeah, you guys have 4 or 5 running backs signed right now. Like that's crazy. Yeah,
If
look
I was
like
a
he's still signed. Yeah.
if I was a receiver, I would be so pissed right now, dude. If I was Mark Andrews, I'm like at least him, bro. Like request because they gonna use likely more than Andrews anyway this year. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, I don't know. They might not. They might just do the well, we know what we got. It's like,
well at this point, if they're gonna run all the time, it might be a 2 tight end set. Play
true.
action, dump over the top. Zay Flowers is gonna run a go or a post every down.
That might be your best bet. That's so crazy. Like Justice Hill had 387 rushing and 206 receiving. That's your third back.
Yeah.
Like I'll take like for the Chiefs, I'll take that right now. That's our third running back coming off. Like
And we
what?
don't even have after Pacheco. I don't even think we have a running backs on our roster because McKinnon is he a free agent?
Yeah, I think so.
Because we only signed him to a 1 year deal.
Is Clyde a free agent right now?
I hope so. Sure.
I don't think so. I don't think he is.
No, I think he's on his 5th year player option or something like that.
Sheesh. Ugh. What did he have this year? I don't think it was that. He
No,
had 200 yards rushing and 188 receiving. Yeah. Like, we'll take Justice Hill right now to be the backup And that'll be great. We'll be
Yeah,
that'd be
because
exciting. And
yeah,
he's the
because
fourth.
we not giving running back. We gonna give Pacheco his carries,
Yeah,
and that's it.
that's a good point. I guess so. Here, let's go to the deeper end of
Thank you.
this idea for the running back market that happened. Do you think running back is just kind of a a dead position? Like, is it just there's
I
no how do you what
I
what's
think
happening?
I think the traditional running backs is a dead position. Like the dual threat running backs, like Derrick Henry's the only one who's probably gonna command money like that just because he's Derrick Henry.
True. But
But
he still only got what 9 million, basically a 1 year $9 million contract that they can get out
yeah,
of
but that
next
because
year.
he's and when half of that was because he's 30 and he done took what
True.
pounding after poundings
The
every
most.
year. Yeah,
I mean, he
so
looks stiff. If you watch some of those Titans
yeah,
games, he
he
just
doesn't move like he used to move.
like he getting too
So,
buffed.
but shit, you ain't got nothing else. But yeah, I just think it's kind of like nobody. It's the fast pace. They want it to be a fast paced league now. Running the ball 20 times is not it. Like,
Yeah.
and then because if you look at it, Twitter, Facebook, and everything like that, when the game is 3-3 at half and there's more rushing yards than passing yards, everybody like, what is going on?
What the
Like,
fuck is this?
why are y'all running 15 times or something like that? So it's like the fans want to see high flying. That's why receivers went up and running backs went down. Back in the day, running backs was one of the highest paid positions,
Yeah.
but it
The
was a more
second or third,
physical.
yeah.
It was a more physical game back then, and they needed that. But now, less rules for hitting quarterbacks.
It's
Receivers are
so
getting faster. They
but
can't
you would
hit in the
think
middle
that
of the
would
field.
lend itself to more running game. Like the running game should work because that's how we can be a physical team still is just run the ball a lot.
Yeah,
Which is
but
kind of what the Ravens should have well, they did all year except for in the AFC championship game. Like just
I
pound the
haven't
rock.
really seen. But if you go look at the top colleges, none of them really got bruisers in the backfield either.
No, there but that's the crazy thing of in college is like there is no running backs in college right now. Like this year specifically, it's like who's the
You got
best
the
running
dude
back
from
coming out this year?
Corum from Michigan.
I mean, he was all right. He wasn't
I
special.
mean, yeah, but I'm just saying that's what it is. Like that's it.
True, yeah, but that's I guess
And
that's
you
the
got the
thing.
dude
Like
from Mizzou, but he probably won't get picked at third, fourth round.
so
Like,
so and it's all the and then you look at that and then you say Xavier Worthy and like Troy Franklin are like the 16th and 17th best wide receivers, and they're slated to go in the end of the first round. What the
right.
fuck is going on? Like, why? I know years fluctuate with shit, but like, I just have a hard time wrapping my mind around the idea that like I think when we do this thing of saying, I think what's happening right now is there's no running backs coming out in the draft, so everybody signed a running back instead.
Right.
Same
Yeah,
thing with
that's exactly what it
receiver.
is.
The receiver market is going slow because everybody feel like
Everybody's if they
we can
don't
get
get
one
what
in
they
the
want in the
draft.
draft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can get one in the
Oh,
second or
everybody's
third
getting
round.
one in the draft.
Yeah, but that's the problem. I just don't believe that idea because like what was it 2021 the Justin Fields draft. What was that draft? It was who went one?
Uh, Bryce, no, not Bryce. That was
I don't
last
know.
year.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it
I'm a
was
couple
like
years.
they were like, this is the best quarterback class that we've had in 4 or 5 years. And it went Trevor Lawrence, who's you could argue and say he's not even
And
really good.
he ain't living up to.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. Those are your first round quarterbacks in this deadly, heavy, great quarterback draft.
And Trevor Lawrence, the only one still starting.
Yeah. He damn near the only one still on his fucking team.
Yeah. 3 years later.
Like that, if they trade Justin Fields, Zach Wilson will be gone sooner than later, and they're
Yeah,
talking about him going to the Broncos. So yeah,
please.
Trevor, this heavy quarterback draft, and one guy is maybe okay. Like that's why I just don't like the idea of that. And then you go to 2018 when they were like, this is a weak quarterback class, and you had fucking Josh Allen
Josh
and
Allen,
Lamar go in the 20s and in the last pick of the first round.
and they top 5 quarterbacks, arguably.
Yeah, so it's just I just hate when we do this because I think what happens is like, oh, like this year it's quarterbacks, wide receivers. But why is that? I think it's only that because you have the best prospects are a quarterback and a wide receiver.
Right.
A year or two ago, when it was Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson, it was
Right.
this is a
Defense.
defensive heavy draft and there's no quarterbacks in this. Well, the no quarterbacks part worked out because Malik Willis and
Yeah.
whoever else, Kenny Pickett, they was trash. But like, okay, you say that because the top guys are good, but it's like, did anybody else come out of that draft that was like really good in the first round? Was like this crazy run of quarterbacks, like or defensive players?
Not
Not
really.
really. It was the two or three guys at the top, and that's kind of it. Sauce Gardner,
Yeah,
and
I just
but it's just I just don't like that. Like I think
it's
that's what's
all
gonna happen this year too.
and with me, that's why the draft is so unique and is good because some of these players can be top prospects, but it's all about fit. Where do they go? How do
True,
they fit? And things like that. And what
true.
are they coming into? So like who was it? Mahomes came in, sat behind Alex Smith for a year,
Yeah, on a
even though you
good
don't like
playoff team.
Alex. Yeah, and then Lamar came in, sat behind Joe Flacco.
Yep,
Good
true.
good team. So I don't understand why they forcing these quarterbacks to just hurry up and start when they
JJ
need to.
McCarthy. That's the exact. I don't understand how that JJ McCarthy's a first round quarterback now. Like what happened? It
I
been
yeah.
it been
They
two
said something
months.
happened at the draft to where he weighed in heavier than what they thought, and then they said his whiteboard, uh, what he does on a whiteboard
Oh God.
is special, but it's just like okay,
All
like
right. Everybody,
but
it's the Tom Brady shit. How many people are we gonna do this with? Whereas his processing is amazing. Blah blah blah. It's like okay, but can he go out there and do it?
right,
Like
can he process it? Because
we've
these
seen
defenders are
this
getting
shit
faster, like so you're gonna
faster,
have to
bigger,
process faster.
smarter. Yeah, like everything's getting better, and we just seeing slow white guy with an average arm. Usually, you typically doesn't isn't hasn't been doing that great. Even Joe Burrow isn't slow. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's actually
He's
athletic. And it's
and
not
and
sneaky,
he got
oh,
like
he's
this
sneaky
bounce
athletic.
off effect too. It's just like you hit him
Yeah.
and you bounce off of him or something like.
But that's what it just gets weird with this with the whole thing. But we'll go back to free agency. So yeah, like the wide receiver market right now has been kind of slow a little bit. I mean, some guys have gotten picked up, but it's still not
Yeah.
like
And then
everybody
now,
just got re-signed.
yeah, and it's slow to the point where now the receivers that are in the market, Calvin Ridley and the fucking Tennessee fucked it up. They gave this man almost $100 million.
I couldn't believe it, bro. I was
Like,
like, man,
and
we should the Chiefs should do something, do something, do something. Then I seen the Calvin Ridley shit, and I was like, nah, nah, never mind.
that's why we didn't talk to him because he wanted 100 million damn near. Like, dude, what?
Mhm. Yeah,
You
just
had one
go
good year.
draft somebody, please.
Yeah, I'm guarantee you, if there's 17 receivers that's projected first round picks, half of them will probably be have a better career than Calvin Ridley. Like,
I mean, it'd be hard not to as long as you play 6 years. Like that dude
right,
played 2, 3 years, then missed a year, missed another year, came back, and it's like, all right, he cool. He's a number. Is he a number one?
I think he's a glorified too.
Yeah,
So it's just like, I mean, he gonna be with D Hop anyway, unless D Hop asks for a trade.
that's true. I guess you're right. You're right.
So it's just like, I mean, that'd be a good one too. But it's just like, don't they got Bernard Pollard too now?
You got you got a good one too, but then who's the head of the snake?
Shit, at this point, we don't even know. Is it Will Levis? Is it Malik
It's Will
Willis? Is it
Levis. It's Will
Ryan
Levis
Tannehill?
because of the one deep ball a game he throws up to DeAndre Hopkins.
But
That's it.
is the new coach gonna really hang on to him like that? Because the new coach didn't draft him.
That's a good point. I guess
So
it
just
depends
like
on
he
how
didn't draft
camp
none of
goes.
those. Yeah, he didn't draft neither of those quarterbacks. And Ryan Tannehill, he probably don't even like him anyway. He's getting older. So what? I don't even know what pick they got. I think they got the 7th pick, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they snap. I guess one of those quarterbacks. I can't remember how many quarterbacks they got listed as top.
You know, like it's scary to me to think that Penix is going up. Penix now they're saying maybe, maybe the end of the first.
Late first. Yeah. It's like
But it just
to who
2 months ago we was talking about Penix was in the bottom of the second round.
And he didn't even do.
He
I don't
didn't
think his
he didn't do shit.
combine.
I don't think he did the combine at all.
Nah.
Like that's what I mean. Is like how it's literally just people overvaluing the
The quarterback
position.
position.
And I think that's what it is. Like Caleb Williams can't miss top end prospect. And then everybody's like, well, we got to get one too. Well, no, you don't. Like I to me, it's just it doesn't make any sense
And
why
Caleb
you would
starting to irk,
reach.
and he's starting to irk my nerve a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, all his comments and things like that. He's such a
Yeah.
diva.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a little cocky. It's like it's at the Aaron Rodgers
Yeah,
like
it's getting to the point where you have to
territory.
come in and ball. If you don't, then
Yeah,
you're gonna have way more critics than you thought you had.
because when he did the combine, I was like, "Why didn't you throw?" He was like, you can turn on my tape and see me play real football." I was like, okay, nigga, we don't give a fuck. We want to see how far you could throw that bitch. Nobody cares. Like, people just want to see the raw talent of what you can just do. Nigga, you're in sweatpants and a hoodie. Nigga, just chuck like we just want to
Because he
see you
know me.
chuck it.
Because he know he the number one pick. And what am I? What would I do if I'm the number one pick? Like I'm not
I mean,
gonna
I
go up there.
guess.
But it's like he acting like his position was like in danger if he went out there and stuck it up. Like
Or if he got
like,
hurt, I guess that's the thing. Like, oh, I don't want to go run and get hurt, do the shuttle and get hurt. This is dumb. I think honestly, I think people are kind of looking at. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised when, because I think a lot of this is just smoke and mirrors. Because if everybody believed in all of these quarterbacks, then why would some of these teams go so far to sign like the Falcons? What pick did the Falcons got? The Falcons have the eighth
mm,
pick, right? Why
yeah,
did they go pay Kirk Cousins almost $200 million?
his
If you in
agent
the,
is the best agent ever.
I mean, man, that franchise tag shit, like how that worked out for him is so crazy. He got franchise tag twice and then was just like, I'm never signing an extension. I'm gonna go to free agency every single time, and it has worked out every single time. Like it doesn't even make sense. Honestly, I think that's what Tua should do. Is just say, I'm not signing shit. I'm
He
hitting the
would,
market.
yeah, because I feel like I was telling my brother today. I'm like, I feel like his agent studied like when
How does shit
other
work?
quarterbacks was coming into the free agency, and he was like,
And signed
if you,
perfect contracts for it.
yeah, and just like, all right, 3 years from now, you gonna be the best quarterback in this free agency.
Yep, it's nobody else is gonna be free. Maybe somebody gets hurt and they get cut or something crazy, but
Right, but other than that, it's you.
it's
So we
just
can
you.
demand whatever we want.
But I think a big part of it is that none of the other quarterbacks do this. Honestly, I
No.
think we'd be in a better, like quarterbacks would be in a better situation if guys just were like, not, I'm not signing, I'm not extending, I'm not taking an extension. Like, why would I can go get $50 million in free agency? Like, if you're Tua, why would okay, I can sign, get 50 here and stay, and that's all cool, but like, or I can go out and get the same
Or
deal
or
or
somebody
more
can match it.
and more guaranteed money because it's just free agency. It's not the extension that has all the fucking rules and all that. I can
And
just
then
go
and then they was talking
get
about
money.
Miami possibly drafting Penix at the end of the first round to let Tua walk.
That's so weird. Man, like, do you think so? Let's do the quarterback. Do you think Kirk Cousins makes a difference for the Falcons?
Uh, is he playing? Is he gonna be the week one starter? I just don't
He
know how 38.
should be. He should be able to start because that
I
would
think
be like
I think he gonna do what he
10
did with the
months.
Vikings. Went to a horrible division when they was down, and now he's the best team in that division. So all he can ride on is I went to the playoffs damn near every year, winning my division. Like
True.
and I think that's what he rides on. Like not winning in the playoffs. It's just
Just
I win my division almost every year.
I can get us to
I
the playoffs 3 out of 5 years.
and people pay $40 million for that.
I mean, they do. They pay $40 million for less. This is shit
Yeah,
I
they
kept
do.
talking about all year with Daniel Jones. Is like Daniel Jones really fucked the market up because
Yeah, he did.
if I'm it's like what I kept telling you about Brock Purdy. I keep saying this to everybody who keeps talking about Brock Purdy is if Kirk Cousins got 45 million a year, what is Brock Purdy gonna want? If Brock Purdy has the same exact year next year that he had this year, then he's been better than Kirk Cousins for 2 straight years. He's gonna need more than 45.
Yeah.
So
If he
then
go to
now
the
we're
Super Bowl 2 years in a row, and then the playoffs his first year, but he got hurt.
or even
Yeah,
just go back to the NFC Championship. I've taken the team to the NFC Championship for 3 straight years. I need to get paid more than Kirk Cousins, which is literally a $6 million gap between Kirk Cousins and who signed the last extension. Was it Herbert? Herbert for 52
oh yeah,
million.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like the gap is 7 million now. Like we're getting to a point where, hey, guys that are like just coming up, who's next and who's like pretty good, you're getting 50. Like damn near at a minimum, you're getting 47, 48, 50. Brock Purdy. Like that's crazy. What does Trevor Lawrence get on his extension? 53? Should he get
Probably.
he's gonna get more than Herbert then,
Oh, they gonna keep him in Jacksonville.
and that's where where this shit's getting weird. But like Russell, like, here's my other rant. Are we not gonna let go of Russell Wilson? Are
Shit, I
people
guess not.
still holding on to the idea that it's not his fault? Like, do people not watch the games? That's what I'm starting to think is that people really don't watch as much as like these people on TV really don't watch as much as you think they do. Because
You know, all that money they make, they should have NFL League Pass
why are people still talking about I think that Russell Wilson can take the Steelers to the playoffs.
in that division. Get
Why?
out of here.
What make you they beat the Chiefs once? Like yeah, like
Yeah,
they had
hang
like
your head
three
on that.
turnovers. Like what are we talking
Five.
about? But that's it
Yeah,
just the Russell Wilson thing to me just doesn't make any sense because he hasn't shown that he is good anymore or can carry
he's
a
not.
team for it's been almost 10 years. It's been since
Listen,
2016 since he was like a good top tier quarterback. That's 8 years ago.
I know.
Like Pete Carroll just straight up was like, we're done with you.
Is that yeah? Looking at him in practice, like, nah, he ain't moving like he used to.
Bro, they
Get rid
really
of
was
him.
talking about let Russ cook. And when they let Russ cook, the team got worse. He got traded, went to a team that tanked and cut him within 2 years.
And would take the 90 million pay cut.
Yeah, and we'll just take on $100 million in debt for next
Well,
two or
I
three
guess
years.
when you own Walmart, you can
Yeah,
do
the
what you
money is
want.
cool, but it's still, I'm sure they'd rather have that money back so they could go sign Kirk Cousins or, you know what I mean? Like, go do
Yeah,
something. But it's just so crazy. Like, Russell Wilson is cooked, guys. It's over
yeah.
with.
Let
It's
Russ cook.
done.
No,
He is
Russ is
cooked.
cooked.
He's
Like
fried. He's hot dogs on the grill fried. Like, where they
burnt hot dog.
crispy, like not even the good where it's crispy on the outside. It's like somebody left on there way too long, so the inside is dried out too. You can't even enjoy it. Like that's how cooked we talking. Like I honestly, he had injuries in Seattle, and I think it sounds weird, but I think I think what was it? Not this past year, but the first year with the Broncos, when Chris Jones smashed his head into the ground and he got up and started walking like a
Oh yeah,
toddler, I
yeah.
think ever since then he just been like, I'm taking everything easy.
Well, hopefully, good luck because he in the NFC North now. So get ready, buddy.
I ain't seen him
Because
run since that. That was, I mean, he has, but it's like I haven't seen him try to run.
I say
Like,
NFC, he's in the AFC North.
yeah. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get fucking killed. Like, what? TJ Watt with Patrick Queen? That's another signing. How did the
Yeah.
how?
How the Ravens let all their defenders go? Let's start there.
Yeah, that shit doesn't make any sense. Like that's the thing to me of like we're really gonna sit through this season with a lot of weird marginal kind of signings and things that have happened. Like nothing that's happened to me that I've seen personally made me feel like is a real like needle mover, like something really changed. And
I think the only that's what I said. The only team I think that really did something is Houston.
yeah,
Like
Houston
if
added
you
a
look at all
lot
these,
of good pieces.
yeah, and if you look at a lot of their signings, it's 1 2 year deals, which means they in win now mode.
True. I mean, you have to be with that with the situation at quarterback
Yeah,
that you're
because they're
in.
gonna have to pay Stroud in a minute,
Yep, you got 3 years before you got to pay him, so you might as
and
well.
which suck because that market gonna keep going up, and Pat Mahomes is already locked in.
hmm It's gonna be 55, $60 million in a few. We are a few years away from. We might it because what if it goes up one? If it goes up 1.5 million every quarterback that needs to get signed, and you have usually two of those quarterbacks, 1 to 2 of those quarterbacks that got to sign per year. Like last year was what Burrow and Herbert, and then now
Yep.
it's Trevor Lawrence and Tua. And like so, if that just keeps happening, they keep upping it basically 3 million per year. We're talking about we 5, 6, 7 years away from dudes making 70 million a year. You know how crazy that is? What are we gonna pay
And
Pat
we talking about
when his shit is up?
after 10 years, it's gonna be
2030.
a it's gonna be a it's gonna be a 2 year, $150 million contract.
Bro, it's gonna be $75 million. Like that's craziness. But I don't know. I just feel like this free agency, I just nothing big has happened around the league. If anything, a lot of teams got worse. Like you was talking about the Ravens. You had all Patrick Queen gone, the safety, Geno Stone, who had fucking 7 interceptions.
We went to
Uh
the and both of them went to rival teams,
yeah,
divisional teams.
yeah. And then you have fucking uh all this shit. Like it just doesn't make any sense
And like
how
the
we're
Cowboys ain't even
just
did
running it
anything.
back. Every team seems like they just kind of running it back, or you're like the Bills where you just or the Chargers where you just hey, we
I ain't
either
got
need
no
you to
money.
yeah, we need you to restructure or we got to cut you. And it just seems I have a hard time looking at going into this next season and feeling like there's gonna be some drastic thing that happens or changes. Like we just gonna be looking at the same shit with the same teams and the same players and just making up some ideas of like who's good and
Yeah, no, and the only thing, the only that like we said, the only
um,
thing that switched was where when you turn on your TV on Sunday in NFL season, the only thing you need to have to figure out is what running back do they got this year? Like,
mhm.
because that's the only thing that's been,
That's the biggest
and
thing that changed.
even the safety market, nobody's touched the safety yet.
None like that's crazy. Except Stone.
Yeah,
That's it. Like that's crazy. So we really like I just listen to shows and just seeing people sitting up there like talking about how Derrick Henry makes the Ravens better. How? They could
it's
already
just
run the ball. That's like
right,
saying, "Hey guys, we signed the Chiefs signed Kirk Cousins." Like, okay, what the fuck does that do? Like, what are you
right. We
we
got Pat
already got a good
Mahomes.
quarterback. We already have good quarterback play. What does that do for anybody? Nothing. Like,
Who's
okay,
matter of fact, who's our backup?
quarterback?
Yeah.
Nobody. A Luke, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, they homeboy that they really like, the little like person they think that's just like the next.
Little Pat Mahomes Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Mm.
Let me see. I don't know. I just have a weird like this year is gonna be so weird where like there's been so yeah, Chris Aludacum.
Wow. Okay.
There's just so many of these like teams that are not getting better. They either staying the same or they getting worse. Like like you said, the Texans are one of the few teams that's getting better. Like
I can't even think of another one, to be honest.
the Falcons with Kirk Cousins
I guess
and
if that's what you
Darnell
want to call it.
Mooney, and I mean, they added a couple guys, but uh, that's it. We talking about running backs. We spent all year talking about how running backs don't move the needle, don't change anything at all.
And
And
that's
then
what was
now
moving.
everybody's just hyping up these running back moves. I listened to somebody today talk about Austin Eckler going to the Commanders can really help whatever young quarterback they have. I'm just sitting there being like, do they have an offensive line?
And then what did he do to actually help Herbert?
Not a lot this
Um,
year. They didn't do shit.
yeah, okay. Yeah,
Like
that's
that's
what
what
I'm
I
getting at. It's
mean.
like,
It's so ridiculous. Like it's so this free agency and like this period of time pre-draft and all of that, it's just been so weirdly hyped for kind of nothing amazing to happen. Kirk Cousins signed with the Falcons, Russell Wilson signed with the Steelers. All
yeah,
the running backs get signed as soon as the day started. That's the
yeah.
big thing.
I feel like the little kids in the Incredibles. But what you looking at? I don't know.
Yeah,
Wait for something
exactly.
amazing to happen.
Yeah. And it's not coming. So then when the draft comes, we're gonna overhype somebody's draft. We're gonna kill the same like the Lions. The Lions got killed for their draft. They were like, you guys are fucking idiots. You took a linebacker and a running back in the first round. That's stupid. It's 2023. Nobody should do that. And look what they did. Hit perfect.
Yeah,
Hit 4 or 5 of their draft picks perfectly.
yeah.
And that's what we gonna do for this whole offseason. It's silly. I mean, we sitting here, that's what we gotta do for on podcast is do the same shit. It's just I don't believe none of that shit. I don't
No.
believe the Steelers are gonna just take a jump because of Russell Wilson, or the Falcons are gonna go from they were already 9-8, weren't they? Or 8-9?
No. Yeah, they cause 8-9, because they lost the tiebreaker.
Yeah. I know everybody in NFC South like, okay, you guys win the division and lose in the first round.
Well,
Cool.
not the Bucks.
Cool, but it's like that don't do nothing. Derrick Henry goes to the Ravens. Does that mean the Ravens are just going to be they fixed the one thing they couldn't do, run the ball? You didn't do nothing. The one thing you can't do is stop Patrick Mahomes. So
Yeah.
what did you do on that side?
And they should have been sad because these teams should have been calling Chris Jones like, on let we give you 40. What's up?
Man,
Y'all really let Chris Jones re-sign with the Chiefs? All right.
man, that shit crazy. I just like it's such a weird all season, and now like the draft is somehow we're getting to a place because teams are just re-signing whoever the fuck that we're getting to a place where the draft is going to be like the most important draft of the last couple years because every
Yeah.
team like 75% of the teams need like they have to hit in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a lot of people are at. Like the Bills, the way they cut all
Yeah.
their
Chargers is
entire
gonna have to hit.
secondary.
Yep. Chargers, Bills, Ravens gonna have to hit defensively.
Yep.
Uh, who else?
Bengals is in that same thing. They didn't cut
Bengals, yeah,
nobody, but they ain't added nobody either.
yeah. One requested a trade. Tyler Boyd's a free agent, and
Yeah.
Jamar Chase is,
Joe Mixon gone.
yeah. So
Like
step back.
like it's so many of those where, and then you have that's where it's funny because like somebody like the Texans. The Texans have a lot of young pieces. All their receivers is young. Their quarterback is young. All they have to do is just improve. But they didn't just they're not just banking on their young players to improve. They went and got pieces.
Mm-hmm. Especially on defense.
And then some teams that didn't go get pieces, somebody like the Packers, everybody is 25 years old. It's like all they have to do is just improve slightly, and all of a sudden we talking about them being one of the best teams in the NFC. Like it's a lot of it's gonna be a weird year where a lot of shit is moving around just
Yeah, it's gonna be a
because
lot of. It's gonna be. How about this? Besides the Chiefs, it's gonna be a lot of shifting at the top of the mountain.
yeah, except hopefully for the king himself, the
You know.
tippity top of the mountain.
Yeah. Well, he's so far up right now that
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
even
It's gonna be tough.
is nobody's. Yeah. Whoever win the Super, if we don't win, whoever win the Super Bowl this year still is going, unless it's like Aaron Rodgers, it's gonna be their first Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Like
that shit is most likely, yeah. It's just so wild to look at this shit and just think like, oh, Christian Wilkins and Gardner Minshew is gonna make a difference for the Raiders. No, it's not. It's not. Gardner Minshew, like, where does Gardner Minshew rank in quarterbacks? Like, where do you put him? Is he
bottom
top
32?
20?
No, fuck no.
That's
He's a viable backup. That's why I'm just confused on what Oakland's doing because they got Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew. Like, you plan on drafting somebody? Like,
I'm telling you, that's what it is all these teams are really going into this draft banking on the fact that the draft can fix their team. Guess what, guys? You should have spent the last 5 years doing that. The best team in the league for the past few years has signed who? We signed, what's the big signings we had? Jawan Taylor.
Yep.
Justin Reed. Orlando Brown.
Orlando Brown. Donovan Smith.
I don't count Donovan Smith. That was a 1-year deal. I'm talking about like the big, who have we signed for big money? Outside of that, it's the draft.
Nobody.
It's been good draft, hitting in the draft for 3-4 years straight to get to the point where you have a good team. You can't just be like, this is the draft that we have to get good picks all across the board to be a good team now. It's like, that's not how it works. Like, you got to build up. You can't just be like, all right, well, we're just going to use these 7 picks and make our team now. Like, no, bro. It's so crazy.
And I just don't understand, like, yeah, a lot of these things. That's why I said I was watching some of these moves, and I'm just like, either they signing back with their regular team or they going to a rival team. Like, and it's just like, it's not this free agency, even though there's been a lot of movements, it's not really like exciting.
No,
like
it's because all these teams for the past 3 or 4 years were like, next year's our year. We heard 2 years ago, Russell Wilson to the Broncos, the AFC West was going to be the best, the most hardest division possible. There's no way the Chiefs are winning the division because, look, the Chargers with Herbert are good. The Broncos got Russell Wilson. Jimmy G to the Raiders is going to turn them around. And then
1 year later, not a Raider no more.
And then how does that look 2-3 years down the line? The Chiefs stood packed. Hey, we're going to make one signing for a position of need and maybe a position that we can't just plug in, like a left tackle.
Right.
Plug in a left tackle, a second round left tackle talent and on a championship team and expect them to do good. No, we'll sign that and then we'll draft 3 corners and plug them in and we'll draft a safety and a running back and just throw them into the fire.
Yeah, and that's one thing we do. But we also, as a franchise, we develop real well.
Yeah, but that was my point, is that a lot of these teams, we named what, 5, 6, 7 teams, like a third of the league.
That's even if they was do that 7th round draft picks, somehow whoever is they scout, Brett Veach, all of them, like you find Travarius Ward 7th round.
Yeah,
now he's one of the top corners in the league. Yeah. Pacheco 7th round.
Yep.
Kareem Hunt 3rd round.
Yep.
Even Jamal Charles was a 3rd round pick. That was before Andy and them even got here. It's just like
all the corners, even though Josh Williams has been and Jalen Watson kind of regressed this year, it's like they're still serviceable. Like you can put them on the field and they won't blow a Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, we're not talking about a week 3 game.
They've been in big moments and big times to where if they number get called, they know what to do.
Yeah, if they go to the Panthers right now, they'll be good. You'll look at them like, oh, this is their best corner, like type shit.
Yeah.
Like that's like, but that's what I mean is like the Bills cut all these people, cut the whole secondary, and they think what they're gonna do. Hey, that's what it seems like the Bills just always do. Hey, we're just gonna do what the Chiefs do, get our entire secondary in one draft. Well, guess what? You can't just do what the Chiefs do. You need to do what you got to do. You can't just mortgage your whole future on Von Miller and then say, hey, in one draft, we're going to draft two safeties, another corner, a linebacker,
And that's the thing. Like, did
our
y'all not
backup
play with
receiver.
Von Miller's money to where he can do anything with it? Because that went when once you mentioned that name, I forgot he was still even in the league.
Yeah,
Like,
because he tore his ACL and didn't play the not this year, but last year. This year
yeah,
he just didn't do shit.
right.
Or maybe I have that backwards, one of the two. But he got
No,
hurt. He got hurt and then was trash. Not trash, but just okay. But you can't just be okay and make fucking whatever it is, almost $30 million a year.
right.
Like, no, you ruined this shit. And there's a lot of teams that did that. Look at the Saints. Look at the Saints right now. The Saints can't do nothing money wise. All they can do is draft. And they
Yep.
ain't been drafting good either. So that's the other
Oh,
side is if you don't hit, if you get in this position, like if the Bills go in here and say we're drafting three corners, two safeties, and a couple offensive players, and one of them is good, you're fucked for 2 years.
yeah, at least because you got to
Like,
keep him.
yeah, you got to. You got to keep them. You got to push through the shittiness and just hope,
And
hey,
after
when we
two
have
years, you
money,
could
we can
probably
get
put.
somebody.
Let me say, yeah. And after 2 years, you could probably put him on the trade market and then get like a sixth round pick, a
Maybe.
compensatory pick, or whatever
Yeah.
the hell y'all do.
Compensatory, yeah.
Yeah,
But
whatever the
like,
hell that word
hopefully,
is.
yeah. Hopefully they don't just fizzle out and cut and never play NFL football again. Like that's the other side. You not guaranteed the draft. Like I think that's what a lot of people are doing. That's why free agency looks weird. People are re-signing people because we just have this overinflated idea of the draft because people are just, bro. The Chiefs are LeBron of the NFL now. Remember when LeBron was at his peak, whatever LeBron teams did, the rest of the league did. Hey, we got one ball handler, we got one guy that's on ball and four shooters. That's what the whole league went to until Steph Curry came in and said, "Well, no, we can space it out, but I'm
I
the
am the
shooter
shooter.
and the ball handler. And it sometimes Draymond's the ball handler, and I'm just
Right.
gonna run screens. Everybody else is just here to screen for me. But like that's what we are. I think that's what we're doing right now. Is people are saying, "Oh, the Chiefs drafted their entire defense in one draft, and they went and won a Super Bowl. We should be able to do that. We should be able to
Two.
sign a late round running back. That's why we're going to devalue them because look at Pacheco. He's a two-time Super Bowl winning running back, and he drafted in the seventh round. So people are like, "Oh, we don't need Derrick Henry. like,
Mm.
like we'll pay him as little as possible, and we'll just draft another guy, and he'll be good." It just
Yeah.
don't work like that. How many times, like before we won the Super Bowl, we spent what 3 weeks straight. Like we called Veep to the table and went through all the draft picks and pointed out like this shit sucked all up until the last 2 years.
Yep.
You just got lucky. You got lucky because Clyde trash.
I
Like
don't
you
like
had
him.
you had 3 years of drafting that was trash. Like what 18, 19, 20 was all
Sky
bad.
Moore.
Sky Moore bad. Like unplayable bad. He didn't play the whole half of the year. That's the problem. You can't all your teams out there. People listening, watching, if I clip this up. Your team, your hopes of your team's season cannot rely
On the draft.
75% on the draft. The Bills Mafia. The you're most likely you're gonna get one or two solid players out of the draft. That's usually what happens.
You're gonna get two starters and the rest gonna be
Yeah,
rotational
you get
guys.
a draft where you have a Clyde and a Derek Nottie, and then everybody else is cut by the next year. Like
Yep.
that's typically how a draft goes. You can't put your hopes and dreams of a Super Bowl of making it to a Super Bowl based on your draft. And I think that's what's happening now. We look at this free agency and it's like a lot of this shit is mid. That's not moving the needle. So where do these teams like the Cowboys, where do they think they're gonna replenish they team at?
The draft.
The draft. And that's where we at. We a month and a half away from the most weird part of the season where everybody thinks, oh, if this guy can be good, blah 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 blah. Who knows, man? Sorry, I just went on that. This guy,
Nah,
it's just tiring of hearing that shit where people just keep. Now we're in draft. Now the free agency, the big stuff is out the way. We're gonna just be talking about random, like second, third level
man,
players that
like
are like not really starters. Some
right.
guys on
People
the
who
edge
got
of starting.
training camp, training camp invites and shit.
Yeah, like that's where we're gonna be at for the next week. And then a week after that, we're gonna be in draft season and everything is gonna be about, oh, well, hey, if the Raiders get Michael Penix, they could really do something. It's like, well, hey, Michael Penix was rated almost a third round prospect most of the year until the end of February. Like he's 24 years old.
Yeah,
Who was it? Who was it? They were like,
he'd be almost 30 after his contract is over.
Trevor Lawrence is younger than Bo Nix. Is it something like that?
Yeah,
That is
they was
crazy.
in. I think they was in the same high school class.
So yeah. So Trevor Lawrence turns 25 in October. Bo Nix just turned 24, so he's a year younger, 6 months
Oh,
younger. It's like, ugh. And you want to know something crazy? Bo is not a nickname. Did
that's
you
his
know
real
that?
name.
His real name is just B.O.
Oh, yeah,
I can't trust a nigga named Bo. That's not a nickname, bro. Your
that's a
name is
dog
just
name.
Bo. Exactly.
Bo, get over here.
It's just like the Georgia receiver, Lad McConkey. Your parents named you Lad. Your
My
name is
thing is,
one syllable, bro.
I
What?
just don't understand why people want that man on the Chiefs. I don't want him.
I don't either. Have we talked about this yet?
Mm-mm.
No, I want Troy Franklin. If we're gonna take one of the
From
bottom,
Oregon,
yes, that's what I want. Troy Franklin or the other dude from Texas.
AD Mitchell.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Mitchell.
I
Because
want Worthy or Mitchell.
I can't do Worthy. He weighed in at 165 pounds, bro.
Vontae Smith 170.
Yeah, but also, yeah, I guess. But I don't like that shitty. I don't really
We
like
also seen
Devontae Smith
Snead
either.
body slam him.
Yeah, like I don't like Smitty either, just because he gets bullied. He gets bullied out
Yeah,
of his routes a lot. But I just don't. I can't. The problem with Xavier Worthy and like the good comparison to Devontae Smith. The problem is Devontae Smith has elite level hands too.
yeah,
Like he different in how he and
yeah.
Worthy
Xavier Worthy
had
do
the
got the
drops.
droppies. Yeah,
Yep, he's got the dropsies. Like that's a big issue. That's why. And then I seen somebody compare. It was Worthy and Franklin running a quick slant, and fucking Franklin broke that shit off perfect route running. And then they showed Xavier Worthy, and he barely got off. Like he barely he just separated from the dude because he took it
he's
flat and
fast.
just took off. Yeah, he cut it like he went out and came back in, but he cut it so flat that when he took off, he just ran away from dude.
Yeah.
But it was ugly though, and I'm just like, this is what
I
I
know.
mean.
I
Like,
watched all the Texas games.
yeah, it's like Troy Franklin, bro. Like, I watched the Colorado game where he just dominated on
Yeah,
Travis Hunter, supposedly one of the best corners players in college.
but he
Period.
was coming off injury that game.
But I mean, Franklin was dog walking him like it was
Yeah,
nothing. I think he had 3 or 4 touchdowns that game, and it was just simple. Like, all right, go post in. That's all I'm doing. I'm just running 3 routes and just smoking you. But I don't. If we cut MVS, can we just please replace him with somebody that's at least 6'3", 6'2", six
yeah.
three?
Big. That was a big. I would like a big body,
That's it. I cannot stand. I can't do this next year where everybody is 5'10" and 160 pounds.
and they don't know how to go get the ball.
And no, yeah, with no hands. Nobody can jump, got hands, or is over 6'1". Like, come on, that's not how you build a receiving core.
No.
But Lad McConkey, I can't take no white dude named Lad serious. Now he ran a 4.39. He's athletic, very athletic.
He
Like
ran
he
a
can
what?
do that 4.39,
Oh yeah.
sub 4.4. Just like that was cool. He ran a good shuttle, so he's quick.
He might fall to the Patriots then.
He gets open. I'll give him that. He does get open, but like a white guy named Ladd.
I'd rather go get Hunter Winfrey and then draft a receiver.
Just I hope he does good. I hope he does good. That's the same thing like when I found out Brock Bowers is like 6'1.5". I was like, wait, what? Because somebody was talking about that, and I was like, yeah, they were like Brock Bowers could go top 15 or whatever. But if he might go to the combine and show up at 6'2". God damn. Like 6'2", like that. I don't even. Is there any receiver that's under 6'5" anymore?
Uh, you mean over?
No, under. Is there any 6'4", 6'3" tight ends?
Oh, I ended a tight end from like Notre Dame that had a lot of high prospects or something like that.
Oh, one of the Packers tight ends. I don't remember, but yeah, it's just one of them things. Like the draft, I'm not looking forward to the draft.
I'm gonna watch it just cause, but
Okay,
I
so
watched it more because it was in Kansas City last year.
yeah, I went to that shit the last day.
I went to the first and second.
But okay, Brock Bowers weight he measured in at 6'3", 243.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So that's
I was gonna tell you, look up. It's a dude. When we get off, look at the highlights. It's a dude named Tip Ryman. So TIPREIMAN. He's a tight end. He's 6'5", 270.
fucking damn near because how it's about Laporta size, right?
Nah, that's bigger than Laporta. Laporta's
How big
probably
is
like
Laporta?
250.
Well, I'm talking about like height wise. Laporta's
Six
about what
five, yeah,
six
yeah, six
six. Oh
five.
yeah.
But this dude, he might be over 270. I don't. Let me look at the
So he's
comp.
Gronk.
Like, kind of, yeah. He bigger than Gronk. I don't think Gronk was 270. But
They
just
gonna slim that down.
watch his highlights.
Where is
like,
he from?
Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Played in the Big Ten. Is that they still in
Yeah,
the
it's a
Big
Big
Ten?
Ten.
Yeah.
Yep.
That shit gets so confusing now. Think, are they still in the Big
Yeah.
Ten? Fuck.
Nowadays we don't even know.
I know that shit weird, but yeah, that shit crazy. Yeah, he came. So he weighed in. He was 6'4" and 7/8, 271, and ran a 4.64.
Oh, that's a freak athlete.
That's just crazy. Just a monster running a 4.6.
He
Like
coming at you full speed.
ooh, and that's what the highlights you'll see, like bodying dudes, snagging the ball out the air, stiff arming people. Like it's exactly what you think a 6'5", 270-pound tight end is doing. He could run. That's where it's just weird. Like 4.6 is like, bruh,
Right.
you
Yeah,
defensive lineman size, and most of them dudes is not running that shit.
he already know he gonna be on the line 3-point stands like a mug.
Ooh, yeah. But you bring him here, put him next to, because I think he's like a fourth round prospect. Bring him here, put him next to Kelsey.
We got Irv. We just signed Irv Smith too.
So then he can just sit and learn.
Mm-hmm.
Sit and learn and block. And we'll figure everything else out. Yeah, free agency, it's underwhelming. Like, it's cool. All this stuff happening is weird to watch people try to hype it up. But I mean, that's gonna happen. Those are the people that get paid to be entertaining on TV. So they got you better do something. We're gonna hype all this shit up. But hey, basketball, the playoffs is right around the corner. We're a month away. That's what I'm ready for now. These niggas came back. What the fuck? Your boys came back.
I'm watching it right now.
Damn, because I had it hidden. I had the tab hidden while I was looking shit up.
You talking about the Texas or you talking about Miami?
I'm talking about Miami.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, because they was just. I feel like they was just down like 10 or 12.
Bam just hit a 3 to tie.
Oof. Nigga, when I'm watching, they up. I must be behind.
Shit.
I think I'm behind. It's 56-55. What's the score?
59, 59.
Yep, I'm behind, but that's all right. But yeah, so get ready. Basketball draft is coming up. Um, that's pretty much it. And then it's a long 2-3 month period of us arguing over Alex Smith.
Yeah, basically, and Justin Fields.
Yep, just a bunch of weird. We might talk about aliens or something.
We
Something.
might go off tangent.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess if Aaron Rodgers can do it, we can too. Shit.
exactly. Yeah, just come on the podcast and who the fuck knows? That's when we start looking into some guests because that shit gonna get it's gonna get scary there in that June, July, August area.
Well, I'm like, did you see what the Astros did? Like,
I'm like, no, I
yeah.
didn't. What the Astros? Where do they play? In Atlanta? No, just fucking with you.
He'd be
But
like,
that's what start
bro.
asking goofy shit. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. That's it. Free agency was
And bottom 10 of my lifetime.
yeah, we just gotta kind of hope that the draft works out and what the hell? Oh, okay, that's why my shit started working. All right. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy that. You already know what to do. Like, subscribe on the YouTube, follow on all the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all Carver2X. You want to tell them where they can find you at or
Yeah, you
stay
already know.
anonymous?
TikTok, yeah, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, the real underscore top five. Everybody know me. You go, so,
All right,
yeah, that's
everybody.
where it is.
Yeah, go do all that. Hit us up, man, so we can build this little thing up into something, man. Yeah, show some support. But hope you guys enjoyed and see ya.
Welcome.